How to actually start marketing. How do you find motivated sellers and actually get wholesaling deals this year? If you've been asking this question and you really want to start getting deals, start closing sellers, and really have a consistent marketing operations going on in wholesaling, this is going to be the guide and honestly a one-on-one marketing meeting you and I are going to be having right now. As somebody that makes millions of dollars wholesaling houses every single year, the true secret here is consistently getting leads in your Podio, your CRM of choice, so you can actually close these leads and get wholesaling real estate deals. It's really not that complicated. The problem is us as wholesalers really try to overthink this and overcomplicate things. And what I want to do is just give you a complete marketing strategy and guide right now so you can actually start closing more deals. This is going to be a simple 4-step plan so you can find motivated sellers right now as soon as possible in your wholesaling real estate operations, or heck, even in your virtual wholesaling real estate. Now, this is 4 steps, pretty easy. So let's get into step 1 right now. Step 1 is just being in the right market or finding the right market. And this is something I've talked about extensively in my free wholesaling course, freewholesaling.com, which by the way, you should be checking out right now. But if you want to start finding the right sellers, you're going to have to be in the right markets or the right areas for wholesaling. And the best way right now today to find the best area is just to figure out my 2 simple criteria for wholesaling deals. If you want to be in a good market, the 2 criteria are you got to make sure the population for the county is at least 100,000 people. The reason is if there's not a lot of people in the county, there's not going to be a lot of buyers. There's not going to be a big enough economy to support tenants wanting to rent out properties in the area, which means nobody's going to want to buy the house and flip it because there's not a big demand for someone to buy a house there. Also, if people don't want to rent out property over there, then there's no landlords wanting to buy houses because the demand's really low. You want a high enough population where there's going to be some demand so you can actually get wholesaling deals closed. Now, the second and probably the most important kicker here, you want to make sure the median home price in your city is below $500,000. Now, I kind of go between 400 to 500,000, but really when the prices start getting above 500K, it's harder to get 20, 30, 40% discounts off these motivated sellers. The higher the price, the harder it is to get a large discount on the home. Now, it's easy for me to get a 30, 40% discount from someone who's trying to sell their $100,000 house compared to a $1 million or $2 million home. This is why you see listings that are multi-million dollars. They don't go down 10, 15, 20% when they cut prices like a $100,000 or $200,000 house. If they're going to cut 0.1, so it'll go from 1.1 million to 1 million or 2.2 to 2.1. It's because people physically can't get over the percentages and they only focus on the numbers. So a $50,000 price reduction on a listing of $200,000 is going to honestly have a very, very similar reaction doing a $50K price cut on a $2.2 million house for the seller. Now, it is slightly different, but the reaction is pretty equal. And it just shows people can't get over percentages, but off the number. So that's why it's better to go off of cheaper houses. And the cool part, when there's cheaper houses, you can usually do more deals and you'll do more volume, which overall you can do more wholesaling deals. Because if you can do 3 deals at 30K a pop and make 90 grand, it's better than doing 1 deal at 50K on a higher priced home. There's less wholesaling deals the higher price you go. So there is a happy medium here, and it's usually below 500K and above 100. But really from there, if your market fits that criteria of having 100,000 in the county and being below 500K for the city, you're pretty much good to go to start wholesaling. Now, the issue is when you are not in this criteria, right? If you're looking at LA, Miami, New York City, it's like, what do? You're going to have to find a virtual wholesaling market. This is not the end of the world, I promise you. All you have to do is just look on a map and find a city that has this 2 criteria. Do not overcomplicate it. Do not make things crazy. Just choose one. There's over 300 counties right now that actually have this. So just pick a simple one. I prefer the Southeast or the Midwest, but it's ultimately up to you which one you want to choose. Fayetteville, North Carolina is a great option. Dayton, Ohio. Greenville, South Carolina is great. Knoxville, Tennessee. I can go on and on. There's so many great wholesaling markets virtually that you can do very well. I mean, my first virtual wholesaling market was Knoxville, Tennessee. Just was a random pick, but it did really, really well for me. And it was in the Southeast. And if you are looking to get in virtual wholesaling in freewholesaling.com, my free wholesaling course, I do have a complete virtual wholesaling tutorial breakdown in the course. So you can start virtually wholesaling, knowing the systems, the scripts, and the processes. You are not alone. I'm not here to sell you a $10,000 course. Just go to freewholesaling.com. It's free. Now, step 2, this is really when the rubber hits the road and we got to start going at it. Step 2 is pretty simple. Just pick 3 lists. That is it. Now, these 3 lists aren't any of them you can pick. You do have to make a decision here. These 3 lists, 2 of them have to be, and this is a non-negotiable if you're following this system I have for you. 2 of these have to be government lists. So it can be a probate, a code violation, a water shutoff, a fire damaged property, bail bondsman list, IRS debt lien list, credit card debt lien lists, any of the government lists I teach at freewholesaling.com you can do. Heck, even the pre-foreclosures. Just pick 2 government lists I teach in my free wholesaling course, or if you just search government list wholesaling real estate, one of my videos will pop up. I'll show you exactly how to do it. But you just got to pick 2. And then the 3rd list is going to be more of a specialty list. Now, if you're doing in-person wholesaling, I will tell you, I would prefer you did a earned list. So this is going to be reverse drawing for dollars or just regular drawing for dollars in general, where you put sticky notes on a house that looks ugly, where you use a website like dmzach.com and drive for dollars and add it to your properties and just start getting lists that you have to earn. You can't go on a software and pull this list. You can't go online and get this right. This is something that's kind of off catalog for any other wholesaler. The problem is you're probably watching this because you're sick of doing what everyone else is doing. You are sick of trying to call a seller and that seller already got calls from 7 or 8 wholesalers already today. You want a difference. You're sick of doing what everyone else is doing. So you got to be different and you got to get the list that no one else is really getting right now. And heck, even with the hundreds of thousands of subscribers we have on the Flip Dirk channel, this channel, the Zach Ginn channel, my other YouTube channels, most people in wholesaling aren't following me or watching my stuff. So you have an inherent advantage going after government lists. And heck, even the other wholesalers, this is the big secret, they're spending $20,000, $30,000, $40,000 a month on their SEO, TV ads, PPC, all that fun jazz. They're going to get the same motivated list as you pulling the government list. Now, yes, it is a little more work, but you will make a ton of money wholesaling houses here. Now, step 3, this is when the rubber starts hitting the road a little more. This is when we got to start working. We are just going to get 100 contacts a week. That is it. That's all I'm asking. That's all you need to be doing. What I mean by this is if you are going to cold call, send direct mail, SMS text blast, whatever it is, I need you to get a hold of 100 sellers and I need you to ask those sellers, are you interested in selling your property? That is it. My simple cold calling script will work, whatever it is. So for example, a contact in cold calling is I call someone up, they say hello. I ask them, hey, are you the owner of 123 Main Street? They say yes. I ask, hey, are you interested in selling that property? Now, if they say no or yes, whatever it is, that is a contact. That is a person who is the owner of a property that you actually got a hold of over the phone. You ask them if they're looking to sell their property. If you get 100 of those a week, that's all you need to be doing. That's basically less than 15 contacts a day that you need to be doing. Think about that for a second. 15 contacts a day. That's all I'm asking you to do. You can text blast this, whatever you want, but I would prefer you cold call and just get 100 contacts a week. That's all it takes. It's not a crazy expensive wholesaling software gimmick. It's not a crazy course thing. It's just something that you can do that gets results. Now, step 4, the hardest thing, the most complicated one, the one that is going to be the most stressful, daunting, difficult thing for you. Step 4, keep going. That's it. You're going to have to do 5,200 contacts this calendar year for the next 365 days. No excuses, no quitting, no failure, just the hard work. You got to remember this in wholesaling real estate. The harder you work, the more marketing you do, the luckier you get getting wholesaling real estate deals. And honestly, step 1, 2, and 3 doesn't matter if you're not even willing to do step 4. Just doing those 100 contacts every single week, every day until you hit 100 contacts in a day. Probably take you 3 or 4 days to do that at most if you actually start working harder on this, but really just do it. Do the work, do what you have to do that actually gets wholesaling results. The honest truth here is you are going to be the sole determining factor if you're going to be doing this or not. This is a system. Here's the thing. If you spent $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 for a couple hours of my time and we brought down this system for you exactly how you're going to get rich and successful, you would probably follow it. You would probably write this down. You would probably take your little notes out and saying, oh my gosh, Zach actually said this. I better start doing this. But the main problem here is you're getting this for free because I'm not a wholesaling guru. I'm not going to do these one-on-one Zooms with you. I'm here to actually help you get rich wholesaling real estate. And the only way you're going to get rich wholesaling houses is by you being accountable to yourself, not joining a $10,000 mastermind group, you going out here and doing what you need to be doing every single day. If you are excited, ready to go, implementing the strategy, start making the change right now. You have 24 hours to pick your market, step 1. Step 2, start pulling your government lists, those 2 government lists and then 1 earned list, doing your 100 contacts a week through calling or texting, and then keep consistently going after it every single day. No excuses, no quitting, just the work. To get results that others won't, you have to do what others don't. And the best way for you to do this, to get exceptional results, is to do the things that your peers and your competition in your wholesaling market are not willing to do. And they're not willing to do the bare minimum. They're not willing to show up every single day and just show up. But most people who have a gym membership don't show up 3-4 times a week. They'll show up maybe once a week or every other week. Just do the bare minimum, and I promise you, you'll start seeing results. So if you're ready to get going, make sure you go to freewholesaling.com and actually get the knowledge of how to cold call, how to pull the list, and how to do all these things. It's a free course. Like, I don't know what to tell you. Like, should I charge you $2,000 for you to go through it? It's a free wholesaling course where I teach you how to wholesale real estate absolutely for free. I spend tens of thousands of dollars a month just keeping this course going with the data and bandwidth costs on that thing. And I need you to start implementing it so you can get rich and successful. Guys, if you got any value from this video, make sure you smash that like button, subscribe, and I'm looking forward to your